after this, and if we can just get the chorus.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay.
We just cue both then, just so we can hear the second one. Thank you. You too.
Together we walk away. Step by step the world we changing. Living by the rules, that is life we deserve. We've been through anguish and pain. We bled our life through our broken hearts. But all we knew is we had to be here, so we can celebrate a winning.
Celebrate, 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 celebrate. A new world is possible.
So we can
Celebrate, 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 celebrate. A new world is possible. History will remember you, and the world will sing your name. Greatness will follow you, like the northern star you are. You may be down and out, you may be lonely, you may be hurting, but you are destined to win. Show them your magic, the way you do this. And if you got this, let me hear you say, a new world is possible. 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 Cambiando una vida, dejando una huella en el mundo, alzando tu voz, despertar el amor. 'Cause a new world's possible, it's possible, it's possible, it's possible, it's possible.
History, remember you, remember me. A new world is possible, wait and see. Patiently, don't like the way to be. Agency, gender-based violence and hate hurt you. Maternal mortality birth you. Why gotta be controversial? Need a reversal.
Es
Healthcare's more than virtual. Make it universal.
Believe in no plan, wao wameweza wenani, ukitaka shinda vitani. Believe in yourself na ujipe thamani.
Yeah, it's possible. A new world is possible. A new world is possible. A new world is possible. A new world. It's possible. It's possible. Es posible. Yeah.
think we're good.
thank you so much for joining us at the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
Focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations, and individual experts from around the world. We cannot forget about the red carpet event, which is a special celebration featuring performers and honorees for the exemplary work in family planning and reproductive health.
And we spoke about a very important topic about power shifting and how power shifting can help us with regards to human rights programs. We had women of impact who led discussions on stage around how we look at family planning and the advancement of gender equality.
Educate yourselves, tell your story, don't be afraid to speak out.
Organizations such as the Success Projects took us through how we can learn from failures to advance our family planning programming and services. And we cannot forget about the MOF, where incredible stories teach us about the power of choice and how it can make a difference in family planning.
This was an amazing opportunity to talk about the youth factor in family planning and how youth-led organizations can educate on their behalf when it comes to their values and their needs. We saw thought leadership organizations create a global roadmap for action, and beyond that, the impactful stories of how the youth are collaborating and innovating. Thank you so much for tuning in this year. Please remember to use the hashtag FP for all, hashtag ICFP 2022, and of course, hashtag FPNN in your mentions.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us at the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
Focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations, and individual experts from around the world. We cannot forget about the red carpet event, which is a special celebration featuring performers and honorees for the exemplary work in family planning and reproductive health.
Today we spoke about a very important topic about power shifting and how power shifting can help us with regards to human rights programs. We had women of impact who led discussions on stage around how we look at family planning and the advancement of gender equality.
Educate yourselves, tell your story, don't be afraid to speak out.
Organizations such as the Success Projects took us through how we can learn from failures to advance our family planning programming and services. And we cannot forget about the moth, where incredible stories teach us about the power of choice and how it can make a difference in family planning.
This was an amazing opportunity to talk about the youth factor in family planning and how youth-led organizations can educate on their behalf when it comes to their values and their needs. We saw thought leadership organizations create a global roadmap for action, and beyond that, the impactful stories of how the youth are collaborating and innovating. Thank you so much for tuning in this year. Please remember to use the hashtag FP for all, hashtag ICFP 2022, and of course, hashtag FPNN in your mentions.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us, the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
Focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations, and individual experts from around the world. We cannot forget about the red carpet event, which is a special celebration featuring performers and honorees for their exemplary work in family planning and reproductive health.
Today we spoke about a very important topic about power shifting and how power shifting can help us with regards to human rights programs. We had women of impact who led discussions on stage around how we look at family planning and the advancement of gender equality.
Educate yourselves, tell your story, don't be afraid to speak out.
Organizations such as the Success Projects took us through how we can learn from failures to advance our family planning programming and services. And we cannot forget about the moth, where incredible stories teach us about the power of choice and how it can make a difference in family planning.
This was an amazing opportunity to talk about the youth factor in family planning and how youth-led organizations can educate on their behalf when it comes to their values and their needs. We saw thought leadership organizations create a global roadmap for action, and beyond that, the impactful stories of how the youth are collaborating and innovating. Thank you so much for tuning in this year. Please remember to use the hashtag FP FP for all, hashtag ICFP 2022, and of course, hashtag FPNN in your mentions.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us, the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
We focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations, and individual experts from around the world. We cannot forget about the red carpet event, which is a special celebration featuring performers and honorees for the exemplary work in family planning and reproductive health.
Today we spoke about a very important topic about power shifting and how power shifting can help us with regards to human rights programs. We had women of impact who led discussions on stage around how we look at family planning and the advancement of gender equality.
Educate yourselves, tell your story, don't be afraid to speak out.
Organizations such as the Success Projects took us through how we can learn from failures to advance our family planning programming and services. And we cannot forget about the moth, where incredible stories teach us about the power of choice and how we can make a difference in family planning.
This was an amazing opportunity to talk about the youth factor in family planning and how youth-led organizations can educate on their behalf when it comes to their values and their needs. We saw thought leadership organizations create a global roadmap for action, and beyond that, the impactful stories of how the youth are collaborating and innovating. Thank you so much for tuning in this year. Please remember to use the hashtag FP for all, hashtag ICFP 2022, and of course, hashtag FPNN in your mentions.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us, the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations, and individual experts from around the world. We cannot forget about the red carpet event, which is a special celebration featuring performers and honorees for the exemplary work in family planning and reproductive health.
We spoke about a very important topic about power shifting and how power shifting can help us with regards to human rights programs. We had women of impact who led discussions on stage around how we look at family planning and the advancement of gender equality.
Educate yourselves, tell your story, don't be afraid to speak out.
Organizations such as the Success Projects took us through how we can learn from failures to advance our family planning programming and services. And we cannot forget about the moth, where incredible stories teach us about the power of choice and how it can make a difference in family planning.
This was an amazing opportunity to talk about the youth factor in family planning and how youth-led organizations can educate on their behalf when it comes to their values and their needs. We saw thought leadership organizations create a global roadmap for action, and beyond that, the impactful stories of how the youth are collaborating and innovating. Thank you so much for tuning in this year. Please remember to use the hashtag FP for all, hashtag ICFP 2022, and of course, hashtag FPNN in your mentions.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us, the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
Focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations.
everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
We focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations, and individual experts from around the world. We cannot forget about the red carpet event, which is a special celebration featuring performers and honorees for the exemplary work in family planning and reproductive health.
And we spoke about a very important topic about power shifting and how power shifting can help us with regards to human rights programs. We had women of impact who led discussions on stage around how we look at family planning and the advancement of gender equality.
Educate yourselves, tell your story, don't be afraid to speak out.
Organizations such as the Success Projects took us through how we can learn from failures to advance our family planning programming and services. And we cannot forget about the moth, where incredible stories teach us about the power of choice and how it can make a difference in family planning.
This was an amazing opportunity to talk about the youth factor in family planning and how youth-led organizations can educate on their behalf when it comes to their values and their needs. We saw thought leadership organizations create a global roadmap for action, and beyond that, the impactful stories of how the youth are collaborating and innovating. Thank you so much for tuning in this year. Please remember to use the hashtag FP for all, hashtag ICFP 2022, and of course, hashtag FPNN in your mentions.
Hello, ICFP! Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us for this closing ceremony of ICFP 2020, coming to you from Pattaya City. And I would like to, of course, welcome you all in this room, but also acknowledge the virtual community of thousands of amazing individuals who've been in this journey with us throughout this week. ICFP has indeed become more than a conference. It has grown into a platform for researchers, advocates, governments, communities, and youth, a movement towards achieving access to family planning for all, and a growing community guided by the spirit of partnership, inclusivity, innovation, and scientific rigor. This week has given up some rich experiences. The week of ICFP 2022 in Pattaya City has proven yet again that ICFP is the leading movement. ICFP is a feeling. ICFP is relationship. It is a vision, it is a movement, and the moment is now. And for now, I would like to turn over and introduce to you Oying, whom we've all met throughout this week, to give us the opening remarks for our closing ceremony for ICFP 2022. And I hope you take that feeling, that vision with you as you head back home after ICFP 2022. And for now, it's over to Oying.
Thank you, Dr. T. I see a sea of reproductive health champions in front of me. Please give everybody a clap. I know we are in the closing period of this meeting, but I hope that each and every one of you, in terms of your own personal goals coming to this meeting, I hope that you have achieved those personal goals. Have you? Thank you. You know, sometimes platforms like this here are important, but I believe you would agree with me that equally important are those small group meetings you have, the coffee and the tea, you know, meeting old friends, meeting new friends, you know, discussions about new ideas. That's what this platform is all about. To give all of us that opportunity to exchange information, to form new friendship, to form new collaboration so that all of us can move forward the reproductive health and family planning movement into the 30s. So I hope that you're excited, as well as me, you know, for the experience you have had here. And I'm sure that the stories you will bring to your own communities back in the country, we would like to make sure that those stories are spread and shared with those who have not been able to join us here or nor join us virtually. So, where next? As of an hour ago, we have 2 countries in Africa who have signified interest in hosting the next ICFP 2025. Two countries in Latin America. Do you want to go to Latin America? Yeah. Have also signified interest. And just about 45 minutes ago, I was approached by another country, by a very high member of parliament of this particular country. They also would like to offer to host the next ICFP 2025 in Northern Africa. So I hope that all of us brings these powerful, inspiring, motivational stories and feeling, you know, that you have acquired in the last few days here and share them with the rest of our community. Thank you very much, Dr. T.
And I think that's a marching order. The work begins for the coordinating and organizing committees. Thank you very much, Oyeng, for those remarks. And next, I would like to introduce Lana Dakan as the Deputy Director of the Reproductive Health Program at the David and Lucille Parker Foundation to give some remarks and also announce to us the QIC Challenge winners. Welcome, Lana.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's been so great to be here and reconnect with new and old friends, as Oyeng has said, and the enthusiasm of this in-person conference is wonderful to see after so many, or few difficult years. I am really excited to be here at the closing ceremony and to announce the finalists from the Packard Foundation's 4th Quality Innovation Challenge. As a quick background, the QIC, as we like to call it, is an open grant submission process that seeks to solicit creative ideas that advance quality sexual and reproductive health care. To date, we have hosted QICs at prior ICFP conferences through which we have supported 27 projects totaling nearly $2 million in grant funds. The theme for this year's QIC is bringing care closer to all and ensuring equitable and just access to quality reproductive health care. This year, we decided to do things differently and implement a hybrid application and selection process. Thank you so much to the Gates Institute. In total, we had nearly 100 applicants from all over the globe, and over a quarter from youth-led or youth-run organizations, and 80% are from organizations that are new to us. And thank you to everyone who voted online. Over 2,500 votes in less than 24 hours, and your votes contributed to the decisions made. The finalists that I'm about to announce will be invited to submit a grant application to the foundation, and of the 15 finalists, 10 will be selected for $100,000 grant awards. And here they are. Abiot Nigat, Ethiopian Center for Disability and Development. Meskeram Siteng from Engender Health, Ethiopia. Simon Binazero Mambo, Youth Alliance for Reproductive Health. Judy Kael Irakoze, Trust Indigenous Culture and Health. Surbi Srivastava, RNW Media. Ramatu Udrago, African Population and Health Research Center. Polyphil Tihinyura, University of Rwanda. Jostas Mbembezi, Rwenzori Center for Research and Advocacy. Laura Ramos Tomas from the Pleasure Project and Tabu Tabu. Mirak Angandembe from PSI Nepal. Pascal Kanganda Nyendo Makikeri University School of Public Health. Amina Swinepole, Roots of Health. Anu Shrestha, Disabilities 2030 and YPeer Asia Pacific. Lauren Suchman, University of California, San Francisco. And the final one, Somjet Srikanok, the Planned Parenthood Association of Thailand. And those are the 15. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone. A huge round of applause. And thank you very much, Lana, for that. And now I want to introduce to you all the scientific subcommittee representatives who will provide us a summary of their report. And I now call on Dr. Unop, Funminiola, Linnea, Stella to the stage to give us the subcommittee report. And over to you.
It's been a great conference, hasn't it? I'm sure it's wonderful to see people face to face rather than over Zoom. So the scientific committee is really grateful for what everyone has done to make this a very special conference. We had 3,104 abstracts submitted to ICFP 2022, and this broke the record because for ICFP 2018, we had 2,759 abstracts. So great job, everyone. For this conference, we had 1,500 presentations in 200 oral sessions. We had 33 flash sessions and 6 poster sessions. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So first of all, many thanks to Oying and the Hopkins team for selecting Thailand to be the venue for this event. And thank you again for giving us the National Steering Committee Scientific to work with the International Scientific Committee. And it was such a wonderful and great experience to have worked with all the leaders, global leaders in reproductive health and family planning. I would like to thank all the NSC advisors and committees shown in the slide for their work and support, as well as the panelists from Thailand who have represented the country in the scientific session. And we were glad that our young members have chance to present their works here as well. Give them a big applause. And finally, on behalf of the Thai team, we are very proud indeed to be part of the ICFP community now and forever. Thank you.
Maybe one more. Ooh, one more. So many NSC subcommittees to thank. Okay, so I am very happy to be up here to actually thank all of you for participating. So as Oying has mentioned, this is really a community. It's a community of scholars, of advocates, of youth, of media, and we have so many people to thank because we couldn't do this without you. So first, I'm gonna ask, I can't see you, but I'm hoping that when I put up the slides, you can all stand. And we can give a round of applause to each of the groups and stay standing so that by the end we can see how many of you were really responsible for the success of this conference. So first, all of our track organizers who put together all these tracks, who reviewed the abstracts, and really put together most of the scientific program. If you're out there, please stand. Then we have our super reviewers. These are the reviewers who stepped in at the last minute, who committed to reviewing as many abstracts as they could with a week's turnaround. These are the people who really brought us across the finish line. So if you aren't standing already, please stand. To all of our reviewers, there were over 700 people who signed up to review. So I think that's probably half the room. So if you aren't already standing, please stand. This year we implemented an office hours support, so we really wanted to make sure that we were supporting people in their abstracts and making sure that they were prepared to submit the best possible abstracts. And so if for any of our office hours support people, if you aren't already standing, please stand. All of our moderators, especially our emergency moderators who stepped in at the last minute, who were able to moderate the conversations, keep the conversations going. If you aren't already standing, please stand. And last but not least, I would really like to thank 3 of our amazing students who have spent so much time helping us. If not for Emily Sanchez, Fauzia Ali Khan, and Emma Miner, we would not be here.
We also want to thank the poster judges. Their names are there. If you are one of those poster judges, we appreciate your work. Will you just stand, please? They did a very, very good job selecting out of 600. They selected about 18 that we are appreciating today. Thank you so much. And so for each poster session of 100 posters, we selected 3, and we are recognizing them. The people in the first position will receive an iPad, and I'm going to call them forward to come up and receive their iPad. The others, they'll be recognized. They have ribbons attached to their posters, and we really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much. So. The first person I'm going to call forward is Benson Maika, but I believe he has to go catch a plane, so he's not here. Richard Muhumuza. Richard Muhumuza. Thank you. Kaniz Fatima Muniza. Kaniz Fatima Muniza. Thank you. Mame Peterson. Mam Peterson. Daisy Tuzo. And Jim Mwaka Nsakala. Jim Mwaka Nsakala.
So now I want to invite the representative of the Parliamentarian group for a summary of key takeaways. We will be going through the different subcommittees for the conference. So right now it's the representative of the Parliamentarian group for a summary of their takeaways. Priska, are you here?
Thank you. Yes, it's good. So, wow, what an extraordinary event this has been. So, first of all, I would like to thank all the ICFP team. Thank you. I think we can make a huge clap for them. Actually, during the past few days, we exchanged best practices, we share views on many issues, and we debate to identify solutions. What we all have done here is quite important. It does really matter. Why? Because we are demonstrating here together that when we are actually together, everything becomes possible. And by together, I mean association, I mean youth movement, but I also mean lawmakers. Lawmakers, members of parliament. Because here, thanks to the Global Parliamentary Allowance and special dedicated to NIL data, we were actually more than 20 members of parliament working, exchanging on what we are doing in our country, but also on what we're going to improve in other countries for girl and women health, for girl and women rights. For example, my colleague here from Ukraine underlined that the need of having family planning supplies available during humanitarian crisis and in war zone. Another colleague from Egypt shared that a parliament has, for the first time in its history, set up a committee on child health and family planning. Another colleague from Tanzania stressed the importance of financing new initiatives that focus on male contraception. And for my part, as a Member of Parliament of France, I'm very, very proud to share with you that next week, in few days, we are going to vote a big law in France. We are going to put the right to abortion in our constitution. Alors oui, je vais poursuivre ces quelques phrases en français parce que je sais qu'il y a un certain nombre de francophones aussi. Et en tant que parlementaire français, je dois aussi vous faire part de la vision de la France sur le sujet de la santé des femmes et des droits des femmes en général. De nombreux pas ont été faits ces dernières années en France, avec notamment la pilule contraceptive qui a été rendue gratuite pour toutes les jeunes filles, pour toutes les femmes, jusqu'à leur 26e anniversaire. Nous avons aussi rendu gratuite et accessible dans l'anonymat la pilule du lendemain. Enfin, nous avons aussi, par exemple, levé le tabou de la précarité menstruelle en permettant aux collégiennes et aux lycéennes d'avoir à leur disposition gratuitement des serviettes hygiéniques. Et puis, je finis par peut-être un dernier mot sur ce qu'on a pu faire en France et qui est important, je pense, ici, parce que nous sommes nombreux et nombreuses surtout. Nous avons permis à beaucoup plus de femmes de s'engager en politique, parce que leur permettre de s'engager en politique, c'est leur permettre d'élever leur voix et d'être là où les décisions se prennent, c'est-à-dire de devenir des leaders féminines politiques. So yes, I will switch in English now. So yes, today we are closing together this very, very big event. But this is today. Tomorrow, back in our respective country, every one of us will be in charge of using what we've learned, what we've shared here to make local progress for women's rights. You can be sure of one thing. All the MPs of the Member of Parliament here are on your side. You, as activists, member of association, young leaders, you have the responsibility to raise voices, to call to action. And we, as MP, we have the mission to transform all that call into laws. And we will do it. So here together, we carry the hope of many, many girls and women in our heart, but in our hand, we have the power to change things. So I'm completely lucky and happy to say that we are going to succeed. We are going to succeed because one word, we are together. Thank you very much.
And now I would like to call on the Dream Team, the Communications Subcommittee made up of Sherelle, Matt, and Dr. T. Christina and Matt, come, go, go, go.
Hi, everyone. We were supposed to drive in on a tuk-tuk, but they didn't let us do that, so we're all standing here together instead. I have a few notes, and I believe a PowerPoint, hopefully. So, yes. Just wanted to say thank you first to our media scholars for being part of this new initiative with us this year. I'm also really nervous. I like to be behind the stage, not on front, so it's like my worst nightmare. All to say, thank you to the 12 of you for being part of this with us and being willing to create something new, because it became something really bigger than we thought it even could. We launched FPNN, and we have 3 of our debut anchors on stage. We also had the community live stage. This is Go Nisha Go. We have Brown, Neon Saba over there. And we have Nandita Bajaj, who spoke about pronatalism. And these are conversations that otherwise wouldn't have happened at ICFP. And we're really grateful that you all came together and made that possible with us. We featured The Wrap, which is a fast-paced discussion about things that happened at ICFP. We launched the Trailblazer News with our amazing anchors, Community and Commitments with Natanda Mandui. Of course, FPNN with Andrew Chamagero and Victoria Rubadiri. We had amazing guests like Dr. Natalia Kanam, Dr. Atul Gawande, and of course, Dr. T and her amazing guests as well. So just again, thank you. Thank you to the Dream Team for making this possible, and FPNN, it's just the beginning. So we're looking for partners, looking for collaborators. If you want to be a part of the live stage with us, bring FPNN to other places, let us know. We're really excited, and I just want to hand it over to Andrew and Victoria really quickly. They took something that we had as just a small idea and truly took it to a place that we didn't think it could go, and we're so grateful to the both of you and Natanda and Dr. T and everyone who made this possible, and of course, Molly and Matt and for their anchors. So thank you, everyone. We're really excited, and just to be able to launch something like this at this kind of platform is a dream. So thank you all for being part of that with us.
Back to my other duties, I would like to introduce now the subcommittee for their key takeaways and summaries from the Faith Subcommittee. You may take the stage.
Hello, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers of ICFP 2022 for involving the faith community. We all know how important faith is in reaching out to the communities, to promote uptake on family planning. Here is our statement. We, faith representatives from various traditions, are grateful that we were able to gather together with all of you here in Thailand. We are aware of the critical role we play and the influence we have in our communities. We are committed to interfaith action and collaboration with all of you in order to increase our understanding of each other, building bridges between different stakeholders to ensure a greater and more significant impact. We particularly appreciate our coming together here in Pattaya, Thailand, to celebrate all the progress that has been made over the last years on the occasion of the International Conference on Family Planning, ICFP 2022. We are committed to seeking constructive solutions to the challenges our communities are facing around health, including but not limited to sexual and reproductive health and rights, mental health, COVID-19, gender and social justice, climate change, and peaceful coexistence, and are committed to ending practices that limit the flourishing of our communities. We affirm our responsibility to continue advancing family planning from the faith perspective. Life is sacred, and we believe in the role of family planning in protecting the lives and health of mothers, fathers, and children, reducing their mortality and creating well-being. We are committed to striving for women's and girls' access to decision-making while ensuring male engagement is part of the processes. We uphold our commitment to continuing to inform and educate our communities on family planning, advocate for mainstream quality family planning services, and strive to sustain services during emergencies. We acknowledge the compassionate nature of religion and do not accept and will not promote practices and selective interpretations of sacred texts that cause harm in the name of religion. As we move forward, the following points are critical for us. Ensure that faith actors are included in the planning execution, monitoring, and evaluation of family planning projects and policies. Call on governments and other agencies to include faith-led facilities in the list of beneficiaries for support with FP commodities, personnel, and other infrastructural support. Ensure the availability of funding for faith-based organizations, acceptance of different approaches to family planning that allow for different beliefs and cultures, but ensure that referrals between the systems are possible and no harm is done. Thank you for this opportunity to restate our commitment to family planning, and we look forward to future opportunities through which faith entities can scale up their contributions to family planning awareness and services.
Thank you so much to the Faith Subcommittee for those interventions. And I think it's so important to highlight that, so many people think there's a conflict between our faith and religion and our needs around sexual and reproductive health rights. And it's so encouraging to see a group of faith leaders who are really supporting and defending and making sure that all of our rights to family planning can be realized. So thank you so much for that. And next, I would like to introduce the Private Sector Subcommittee, Doreen, to come on stage to give us some of the summaries and key takeaways from the Private Sector Subcommittee. Yay, Doreen!
Good afternoon, everyone. It may be weird that I'm here alone, but it's because you are all private sector, so I don't feel alone. So I don't know if there is slides, but I'm going to go with my remarks. It is a challenge to share in a few minutes what we learned and experienced during this ICFP. Thank you. Okay. But I had put together some pictures and animations. I hope they are going to come up. In the meantime, I'm going to continue with my notes. Right? Okay, yeah, that's it. Should be a video. Okay. So I must start by noting that this is the first ICFP with a private sector subcommittee. And having a private sector pre-conference and along with the other increased activities designed to elevate the importance of the private sector in delivering SRH and FP innovations was really a noteworthy event. We organized a pre-conference on the private sector. That was a video with multiple pictures, but it's okay. And it was really about looking at different perspectives, such as business models and approaches, where we were looking at the reality in the sustainability and policies which facilitate business involvement and at the same time provide regulation and protection for consumers. We also looked at a right-based approach which assures private and protection to all people using their phones or computers to access information and product. So those are key pictures. Wait. Sorry for the tech issues. All right. So this is not really like the, it's okay. So we had multiple quotes that I'm going to share with you for you to get a quick overview of how the discussion was passionate, real, and uplifting. The first one was from Ben Billows from Navy. He said that the private sector is known to be innovative, forward-looking, and risk-taking. Digital innovations can address many of the challenges we face around information, choice, confidentiality, and non-judgmental services, etc. So when we hear about digital innovation, we need to continuously ask ourselves, what is the business model behind in order to implement something which is really sustainable from the start? We also talked about policies, and we saw that policy guidance on direct-to-direct consumer sales of contraceptives, such as through e-pharmacies, which could present risk in terms of quality and data privacy in the absence of regulation, while also recognizing that the implementation of regulations without a good understanding of the private sector may hinder the progress of the private sector or digital technology. The other point which is noteworthy, which highlighted the accountability relation, is the responsibility of the state to monitor the private sector, but also the responsibility of the private sector to monitor the state. So during this ICFP 2022, the private sector was almost everywhere. It has this is a culmination of many months of work, and we had around 60 sessions, posters highlighting the private sector in delivering FP services and products, which led to the development of these multiple activities. So our main goal was to bring together FP marketplace actors with a digital interest to explore implications of commercial models to consumer engagement and referrals in the FP marketplace using digital solutions. I think we achieved that, but we also agree that this is a start, and these discussions and thinking and reflections must continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those summaries. And I would now like to call the Humanitarian and Crisis Setting Subcommittee for their interventions, some key takeaways, and some summaries as well. Is Justin? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's quite eclectic. It's here. So my name is Ngong Justin. I'm from Cameroon. I work with Youth to Youth. Youth to Youth is a youth-led organization that looks very much in advocating comprehensive sexuality education to young people living especially in fragile and humanitarian settings. One of the reasons why I'm very honored to present to you the Humanitarian and Crisis Subcommittee report. This is the very first ICFP that has had an active humanitarian and crisis setting subcommittee. So it's new. This is phenomenal as it recognizes the increasing role humanitarian work plays in advancing sexual and reproductive health and rights and family planning in fragile and crisis zones across the globe. The subcommittee held roundtable sessions with focus on sexual reproductive health and rights in humanitarian settings. These ended with a clarion message on the urgent need to increase humanitarian activism in advancing sexual and reproductive health and family planning in fragile and crisis settings across the globe. There were a number of humanitarian-related panels. It was also good to see many presentations from humanitarian settings on other panels. For the first time, there were also multiple humanitarian-related side events. Why it's phenomenal? These sessions exhibited the challenges humanitarian interventions encounter and successes achieved in advancing reproductive health, family planning in fragile and crisis settings. Discussions continued on looking at tangible solutions and responsive mechanisms in fostering related side events. The subcommittee rounded its ICFP activities with a soiree sponsored by IWAC and me, with the objective to create networking and partnership avenues for humanitarian and development organizations and experts in advancing humanitarian activities in fragile settings around the world. As recommendation, the subcommittee is happy to see the growing recognition that people in fragile and humanitarian settings have access to services they want, they need, and they deserve. We cannot accomplish the SDGs without including these populations in our work. Je vous remercie. Thank you so very much.
And now I would like to invite the subcommittee on youth, perhaps the most important stakeholder for ICFP, to come on to give us a summary and key takeaways. And to do this is Jacqueline.
Hello, everyone. Are there young people in the hall? Can I hear your voices? Can you raise your voices for people to know that you are here? Est-ce qu'il y a les jeunes dans la salle? It's such an honor for me to stand here on behalf of the Youth Subcommittee, speaking on behalf of Jordan, on behalf of Otuk, on behalf of Aisha, on behalf of Alan, who've really worked so hard for the last 1 year to make sure that young people do not only attend this conference, but that they can participate in a very meaningful way. So we are really going to thank all the co-chairs, but as well the subcommittee members who've attended countless numbers of Zoom meetings, trying to make sure that youth participation at ICFP is going to be meaningful, that we have young people participating in all sessions, which was really the case. So with a round of applause, can you help me just clap for the people we have, the organizations from Population Council to YP Asia Pacific to Institute for Business. Thank you so much for the work that you've done. Also, we want to thank our youth pre-conference sponsors, PCI, Planned Parenthood Global, FP 2030, whom I represent this evening, and Gender Health, PMCH, UNFPA. Can you please clap for them? They made sure that the youth pre-conference was sponsored. So we are encouraging other organizations to make sure that next time you reach out and that you give some money to make sure that young people and the pre-youth conference is well organized. Now we would like to appreciate the mentors who have really made sure that all the youth leaders who are participating, especially those of them who have traveled, who knows that most young people had a lot of difficulties making it to Thailand. So I want us to clap for the mentors and for the young people for your resilience. There are some of them who spent 24 hours on transit, some of them who missed their flights, but who ended up making it here. And the mentors who've had discussions with them, encouraging them and letting them know that the work they do in their community matters. There's some of them who came the first day, didn't know what to do here, but because of the mentors, they have been able to make the most out of the conference. Also, we want to thank the students coming from Johns Hopkins, Monica and co. Thank you very much for your support. You've done an incredible job, and we really want to recognize that. Who was here in the morning during the youth plenary session? If you are not here, you did miss out on a lot. But we just want to let you know one of the things that happened during the youth plenary was the launching of a youth-led initiative, a roadmap that will really guide and direct how young people are engaged in a very meaningful way going forward. And so more than 42 organizations have come together, and we are calling on you, please use this QR code and join and sign up to be a part of this. On this note, we really want to thank you and wish you a safe flight to all the youth members that continue to do the work you're doing in your communities, because it counts, and see you in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. And now I'd like to call on for takeaways and a summary from the Program Implementation Subcommittee. And I would like to call on Anna to come on stage. And Carolyn.
Hi, everyone. It's a distinguished pleasure to come and share the energies from the IBP track program, the implementation subcommittee. And as a committee, we were very committed, and we aimed at organizing a program that would link evidence and theory, policy and practice, but also ensure that we connect diverse stakeholders, including but not limited to young people, grassroots movements, and national level partners to make sure that they share their experiences. With this, we learned and learned, but also relearned. We started our pre-conference on 13th of November, and we were privileged to have representations from to have representation from the Ministry of Public Health in Thailand. This pre-conference also started with welcome remarks from the WHO sexual reproductive health and research, but also we had a candid, honest conversations with different stakeholders where we explored skills, linkages, innovations, implementations, but also the power of advocacy and what this can do in improving access to family planning and sexual and reproductive health. I must say that the rest of the days, or the rest of the day for the pre-conference, it was consisted of innovative sessions and interactive sessions that these facilitated south-to-south learnings, digital solutions, ways on how stakeholders can actually engage. And when we say stakeholders, we even mean marginalized communities that usually the normal world or the other world usually decide to leave behind. We thought that monitoring, and looking at monitoring and the impact of the programs that we implement or that we put out there is very important. So again, that was one of the interactive sessions that we had. The life started at the reception, and at this reception, we made sure that we provided a platform and an opportunity for people to interact, to exchange learnings, but also to sort of network and share what worked and what exactly does not work. Of course, that happened as the fellowship was happening. The pre-conference was also followed by 8 interactive sessions and 8 roundtables. Again, these continue to provide platforms for stakeholders to share, and from these, we have a few takeaways that we've gotten. The role of inclusivity, to say that we were one of the, or if not the only one of the subcommittees that included the sessions were actually conducted in more than one language. Besides English, we had this in Spanish and French. We also had participation of young people and IBP fellows from Uganda, Nepal, and Malawi. Last but not least, that is to say that all the sessions that we held were full to capacity and they were well attended. So we want to thank you for making that attendance.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, so that would be another takeaway, really, that when sessions are interactive and participatory, magic happens. That's what we learned. So all our activities during the pre-conference and beyond, they were highly interactive and dynamic, focusing really on dialogue and knowledge sharing. And this approach really resulted in a very rich and rewarding range of discussions, taking into account various perspectives, local partner experiences, and real knowledge exchange across regions, different organizations, and different areas of expertise. And this format also provided tools and connections for people to continue this conversation during the conference and beyond. Last but not least, we think that people seem to have fun. We try to integrate and use various creative knowledge sharing techniques, beyond PowerPoint. So really trying to allow that knowledge exchange through using group exercises, flip charts, Post-it notes in different colors, and a various range of exercises. We also aim to be creative in the sense of bringing creative and innovative perspectives of family planning on the table. So for example, we've heard quite a few people mentioning stories, and we actually highlighted storytelling in a specific session, what we call a learning lab. So we wanted to highlight storytelling as a means of documenting evidence, sharing best practices, and advocating for interventions that really work. And that really contributed to rich discussions again on bringing in various perspectives of different opportunities of applying storytelling. So I think our last takeaway is really that everyone has a story to tell, and that storytelling can be a really persuasive and captivating way to capture and highlight the power of family planning and how that changes lives. I think throughout all these sessions, we all agreed that we should leverage the power of a good narrative. And as we tell these stories, it's important to be authentic. That's something that came up as a common thread throughout all our interactive exercises and discussions. So really to be authentic and to elevate stories that show real lives of real people and what access to family planning means to them. Because at the end, we think that that is what will stick in people's minds and really help us and support us in moving towards family planning for all. Thank you.
As we conclude, allow us as a program acknowledge the effort, the contribution of a Ugandan medical doctor and professional in public health that rendered and invested a significant years of his career in promoting access to family planning and other sexual reproductive health and rights for young people, women and girls and others. Professor Anthony Mbonye, the late, we recognize his contribution as one of the co-founders of the program, and may his soul rest in peace. That said, we hereby deploy you all to go in your respective communities, movements, use and share your power in improving access to family planning in your respective places. And this family planning is for everybody, irrespective of their race, their social, economic status, or whoever they identify as. Thank you.
And for the next summary and key takeaways, I would like to invite Carolina from the Demographic Dividend Subcommittee to give us some of the reflections. Over to you, Carolina.
Hi, everyone. I'll just start by saying that this is a very intimidating stage. We just want to say thank you. We want to start by thanking our sponsors who made the RPDD pre-conference possible. The Country Office of India from WHO, UNFPA, and the support from the Gates Institute at Johns Hopkins. Because we don't have much time, I won't call on names, but we just want to give a big thank you to our moderators who led a great discussion during our pre-conference, our speakers, the students from Johns Hopkins, Fauzia Khan and Stephanie Vucetich, and of course, a big thank you to all the 140 attendees who attended our pre-conference. Here's a photo of our event, which was full, and we even had to add some extra chairs to it. Thank you for the great discussions we had. And I'm just going to briefly summarize what it is that we learned. At first, we started by discussing the experience from Asian countries, and it reminded us that we have to keep in mind that the lessons that we've learned from Asian countries cannot be directly applied for the context of sub-Saharan Africa, because we're talking about a different context. We also learned about different data tools that are available that can help us keep progress of demographic dividend We also talked about different programs and interventions that are working on specific sectors, and that reminded us that we need to start to think beyond the macro level and start thinking more at the individual and household level, and how we can explore those data sources to keep track of the progress that we're doing when we think about demographic dividend. We finally concluded with a discussion about the effects on sexual and reproductive health that took place during the COVID-19 pandemic. And that also reminded us that, again, it is not a one-size-fits-all solution, and we have to think that every context is different. I will now hand it over to my colleague, Alan Kabageni.
Thank you very much, Carolina. I am happy to introduce the team. Some of them are here. Others were not able to make it. So first, I'll begin with Carolina Cardona and Ian Silas from the Gates Institute, Johns Hopkins University. We also had Soyul Bayara from UNFPA, as you can see the beautiful pictures. We had Kathleen Patio and Elizabeth Mandison, who were not able to join us, both from PRB PACE. Myself, Alan Kabagenye from Makerere University, Uganda, and then we also had Sadu Dombo, the Director General of the Demographic Dividend National Observatory. Thank you very much, and special thanks to everyone for having joined us for the pre-conference event. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to give a moment to Goodness and Monica, who will give us the takeaways. And they were the members of the Power Shifting Working Group, which was also in the pre-conference. You can see how popular that session was and how they are. Thank you so much for also hosting that important discussion, which was, I think, a first of many important discussions.
Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Watat, and my team had the pleasure of hosting the Shifting Power and Advancing Equity in Global Health pre-conference workshop. This was the first time this conversation was held at ICFP, and it was enthusiastically well received, with over 400 people participating in the discussion. We found it important to have it at this time because our field of sexual and reproductive health is in the middle of a paradigm shift. And that paradigm shift is taking place across the world and within institutions represented here today. We had difficult but necessary conversations centered around envisioning equitable, accessible funding, equitable, accessible funding partnerships and what it means to move money to the Global South, operational barriers to equity, and unpacking and reimagining power and relationship dynamics.
My name is Goodness Ogei Ode, and through the Power Shifting to Advance Global Health pre-conference, we're able to have, at the beginning, quite challenging, tough, and a bit discomforting conversation, because you would agree with me that it's difficult for us to say we want to shift power. But we are glad that through the closing plenary, where we're able to talk about the way forward and evolving practices to shift power, the attendees of our pre-conference agreed that we'll be taking concrete actions through practicing shared leadership. We agreed to listen more. We agreed to trust the local organizations who would be leading projects. We agreed to listen to the community, to work with the community, to advance the felt needs of the community, to bring public health to the public, and also to see how we can work around distributing leadership as anti-colonists. We hope that everyone who attended the pre-conference and every other person who will be interested in engaging with members of the Power Shifting pre-conference will continue this conversation, as this is the first of many more. Let's keep having this disruptive conversation and advance power shifting and global health. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we will be moving on with the program to the next part, where we will be looking at the Excel Awards for Excellence in Leadership for Family Planning. These Excellence Awards have been bestowed by the ICFP since the inception of the conference in 2009, and this is a way of publicly recognizing extraordinary individuals, organizations, and countries who have made significant contributions to the family planning community. And to join us on stage and to celebrate and to announce some of the achievements and the winners, I would like to call on Cynthia Oying, Dean Mackenzie, Dr. Bunyarati, and Dr. Kamthoron to the stage, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. What an amazing and inspiring ICFP conference. It is my pleasure to welcome in joining me Dr. Bunyari, Dr. Kamthoron, Oying Ramon, and Dean Mackenzie to help us with conferring these exciting awards. To start us off with the organizational award, I'll ask Peter Naguri to please come up.
Good afternoon. My name is Peter Ngure from FP 2030, the East and Southern African Hub. It's my honor and pleasure to announce the first organizational winner of the Excel Award. Public Health Ambassadors Uganda is a non-profit. Yes, you can give them a clap. Public Health Uganda is a non-profit youth-led and serving organization working on issues of sexual reproductive health and rights and HIV awareness and prevention through youth empowerment programs. Using the peer education approach, PHAU trains peer educators as a multiple effect strategy to increase information flow, share experiences, hold discussions, and debate on thematic topics from one person to another. PHE continues to use their policy, experience, research, and learnings to push decision makers and have key decisions made on SRHR in Uganda. PHU has published and disseminated deemed research findings, success stories, and continues to do journals and abstracts and fact sheets around SRH. PHU has embraced use of ICT in increasing access to SRH information and service, and they have an app called PHU app that is being used in Uganda, where young people are engaging on various thematic topics through questions, answers, case scenarios, short videos, and photos. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for PHAU Uganda. Is there a representative in the house? Oh, yeah. Welcome. Karibu. Thank you. Let's give them a clap. It is also my honor and privilege to present the second organization that has gotten the Excel Award, Shofco Mathare Clinic in Kenya. Shofco, which means Shining Hope of Communities, Shofco Mathare Clinic, is a level 3 facility, primary healthcare facility, that was established in 2015 and is located in Starehe sub-county in Mathare slums in Nairobi, the second biggest slum in Kenya. Founded by Kennedy Odede, the health program is among 7 programs that have been established in more than 11 urban informal settlements among 48 communities in Kenya. Shofco leads in integrating rescue, savings, and leading circle. It has a girls' education community library, has community advocacy, sustainable livelihood, and WASH programs. The facility offers free family planning services, antenatal, HIV and TB clinic, and also general consultations. Through the Challenge Initiative, TCI, the staff have received immense capacity building by learning from the best practices all over the world, studied data to influence client needs, client needs, demonstrated partnership with government, and received free products to cushion financial needs and provide best environment for access to family planning. To date, SHOFCO have impacted more than 100,000 women with family planning services in Nairobi, Kenyan slum, and the goal for the next 3 years for SHOFCO is to improve health outcomes and socio-economic status of vulnerable community and expanding the TCI model to 12 other slum locations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for a representative from SHOFCO. Karibu sana. So thank you very much. Karibu. One.
Thank you so much. Like it said, Shining Hope for Communities is a grassroots movement in the urban informal settlements. What it does, founded by the Kennedy Odede, is to challenge the survival mode that exists within the urban informal settlements. It has established programs in health. They make health free and leverage so much on family planning. We do this by integrating family planning within other key programs like water and hygiene, gender-based violence. We also do it within education, and we believe that we have to tap in every opportunity, bringing humanity and dignity to women to be able to access family planning, ideally because family planning ensures that the socioeconomic status of the people is changed in a positive way, and where best to start other than the vulnerable communities in the urban informal settlements. Like he said, we are planning to expand these. We are starting with these vulnerable communities, and I want to thank everyone, the Challenge Initiative, Mr. Oying and the team, JPEGO in Kenya, government of Kenya that has really believed in private-public partnership, and everyone else who's seated here, who's doing everything that they can to promote increase for family planning. We are encouraging everyone to come on board and help us support pushing the agenda in the urban informal settlement for family planning, and also borrow on the model of integration with other key programs that I've mentioned, and be able to push this agenda to the next level of bringing women and girls to safety, dignity, and in a human way of accessing family planning. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
So joining us now to present the Team Excel Awards, I'll welcome up Maheen Malik.
Thank you, Cynthia. The Team Award goes to Youth for Change and Empowerment. They are a team of 2 extraordinary adolescent women who are amazing and doing a wonderful job in their community. Following the armed conflict in Cameroon, which has been going on the past 6 years, there has been a dramatic increase in unwanted pregnancies and unsafe abortion among adolescent girls. This is caused by high rate of sexual violence in the armed crisis, lack of education on sexual reproductive health, as well as little or no access to sexual reproductive health services as a result of the war. They engaged the community, those who were suffering from these sexual assault, and through the Youth for Change and Empowerment organization, they realized there's a huge gap in sexual reproductive health services in the northern part of Cameroon. From the findings from 5 communities with almost 5,000 girls, they noticed that over 60% of young girls between the ages of 12 and 19 had either been assaulted sexually or had consented to unprotected sex for survival. Of the 60%, almost 45% ended up in one way or the other abortions. This moved them to seek ways to provide contraceptives to these young girls to prevent pregnancy. They started to engage the mothers, sisters, aunts, and female community leaders to provide awareness of the situation for the young girls within the community. As they started to engage these mothers, they're now raising money through these mothers to procure commodities for these girls while dispelling myths about contraceptive use, and have raised enough money to buy contraceptive for at least 1,000 girls in the last 2 years. They work in the most remote communities that have been hit by the crisis. Please join me in welcoming Youth for Change and Empowerment. Therese, we would like you to say a few words, Vivek.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I'm actually panicking, but I'm very, very excited that a grassroots youth-led organization as ours is being recognized in the world's largest conference on family planning. This means a lot to my team. I would also like to give a special thanks to the entire ICFP team, especially the Excel Awards Special Committee, the Bill and Melinda Gates Institute, and all the organizers and partners of this conference. A special thanks goes to our partners, most especially Amplify Change, Vital Voices Global Partnership, the SGPGEF program for supporting us and being giants on whose shoulders we've stood for the past years in providing availability and accessibility to family planning services to young girls and women in the war-torn part of Cameroon, specifically the English-speaking part. I'd like to dedicate this award to every Cameroonian seated in the hall here today working in the English-speaking part of Cameroon. I know what we go through. My team and I have gone through a lot. We've gone through torture, kidnap. We've been jailed just for doing the work that we were called to do. This award is also dedicated to every adolescent girl and young women in the English-speaking part of Cameroon, especially those who have been sexually assaulted, sex trafficked, and pushed into early marriage as a result of the crisis. With you, I believe, if you give us your support, we all can achieve universal health coverage and family planning by 2030. If we work together in Cameroon, you shift your attention to what's going on in Cameroon, and we trust that with our joint efforts, the adolescent girls and young women will have agency in their lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Youth for Change and Empowerment. Over to you, Cynthia.
Joining us now to deliver the individual award is Marie Ba. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you very much. I'm Marie Ba with the Ouagadougou Partnership. It's my honor and pleasure to now present two distinguished activists with the Excel Awards for Individuals. Brown Neon Saba is a national volunteer in the Imbere Heza project, Bright Futures in Rwanda. Brown, a long-term deaf volunteer, has taken the lead on VSO Imbere Heza project in the district of Nyagatare in reducing teenage pregnancy through public awareness on SRHR, advocacy on gender-based violence prevention, education in SRHR, and supporting teen mothers return to formal education. Among her roles is trainer for Rwandan Sign Language. Nyagatare district lies in Rwandan's eastern province, where 5.3% of the population has disabilities. There's one school for deaf people, the Umutare Deaf School, which services neighboring districts. Brown has mentored deaf peer educators, deaf teen mothers, community health workers, and nurses about Rwandan Sign Language, and also engaged with parents and community leaders through video messages and WhatsApp groups. She has amplified the voice for the vulnerable deaf youth in Nyagatare by supporting them to register for national identity cards for the first time. Brown's constant communication, dedication, and empathy with the communities has helped her establish forums where those with disabilities feel heard and are able to report cases of violence. Brown has demonstrated extreme loyalty to the communities that she relates to so well. Thank you so much for your contribution to sexual reproductive health and rights, and please join me in welcoming Brown Niyonsaba.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here with you today, and I'm really grateful for this award that I've got. I want to thank ICFP team for this award. It is really opening many opportunities to continue doing my great work that I've been doing. I want to do a lot, and so that I can change the lives of people with disabilities across the country, and I want this to achieve in many countries. This means a lot to me. This means a lot to the work that I've been doing. I get this opportunity to thank the government of Rwanda, to thank VSO Rwanda with this award. I take this opportunity to thank UK Aid for the funding, and it helped us to do the work that we did in Nyagatare district. With that, with this ICFP, I got opportunity to learn a lot. I shared knowledge. I learned a lot from different sessions. I got connection with different people, and this will increase the work that I'm doing. I want to encourage each and everyone who is here to continue working, but please remember to be inclusive. Remember to include people with disabilities in your work. Let's make sure that we leave no one behind to achieve sustainable development goals. And I want to say that disability is not inability. We can do this. Yes, we can achieve a lot. I want to thank each and everyone who is here, and I take this opportunity to wish you a safe journey on your way back home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brown. That was very inspiring. On to the second award, which is Angela Okech from Kenya. Angela Okech is one journalist that has cut a niche in her family planning reporting. She has been at the forefront of reporting and telling family planning stories that have changed the lives of many Kenyans and advocating for more people, even the Muslim community, on the subject where it is considered taboo to pick up. In Kenya, the reproductive health policy dictates that minors below the years of 18 should not be given contraceptives, and if they have to be given or have the contraceptives, then they have to get the consent of their parent, or the parents have to be in the room. Which obviously, this clause has kept adolescents who are sexually active and leaving them out and contributed to high teenage pregnancies. Angela highlighted the story and got the attention of policymakers, and it is now under review. More stories and Twitter space about the topic followed, and more stories that have won her many awards. She deserves the award for the tremendous work that she has been doing in advocating for family planning amongst the less fortunate groups. Angela, if you can please join us on stage, and please join me in welcoming her.
Okay, thank you. This is truly a touching and special moment to be honored with such an award. First, let me thank the Special Award Committee for recognizing my work. Special thanks to my employer, the Nation Media Group, for making it easy and giving me the opportunity to tell this kind of stories. I extend my sincere gratitude to my editors, mentors, and colleagues back at the health desk for being the strength and foot soldiers in bringing forth many of the special and investigative health stories. They have made this dream come true. I also thank my family back at home for the moral support. Memories of young teenagers I speak to, most of the 11-year-old in deep parts of the Western Kenya, brings this award together, and I thank them for having given me the chance to tell their stories and make an impact. I believe that by telling such stories, like compelling stories, those in authority will move in and avail basic things like contraceptives in government health facilities. I wish policymakers, including the government, will soon act on the non-inclusive sexual and reproductive health laws. Sites of the helpless young adolescents left with the burden of taking care of their children and outdated beliefs that hinder women and men from planning their families make me stronger every day to tell these kind of stories to the world. Each time I write a story, I try to ensure that every word that I write gives hope to the less fortunate who may not have the opportunity to speak for themselves. I am the voice of the voiceless. It's the desire to bring change in the society that gives the voiceless a voice that keeps me going. I have been at the forefront of reporting and telling family planning stories that have changed the life of many Kenyans. Through my reporting, I have advocated for more people to have access to family planning services, including initiating a review of Kenyan legislative on the issue. I want to dedicate this award to the lives that I have been able to touch in a positive way. Journalism is my passion and gives me the fulfillment and purpose in life. Thank you all. Thank you, ICFP.
And now, to share with us the exciting news of the Country Excel Award, I'll invite my colleague, Oyeng Ramon.
Professor Saifuddin Ahmed was supposed to announce this award. Unfortunately, cannot join us because his wife got involved in an accident, and therefore he was not able to make it here. But I'm very proud to announce the winner of the Excel Award, at the country level. And I will tell you in a moment why. The winner of the Excel Award at the country level is India. India is the birthplace of the world's first organized family planning program, which started the National Family Planning Program in 1952. A small family is a happy family. Once an Indian slogan has now reached every corner of the world. The country was foremost in recognizing that the family planning program alone cannot be successful without being integrated as part of a comprehensive health and welfare package. India's first 5-year plan in 1951 to 1956 included family planning as an important development component where family limitation or spacing of children was considered a necessary and desirable in order to secure better health in the mother, better care and upbringing of children. Over the many periods, the family planning program in India has moved away from the target-oriented approaches that has characterized it sometimes. The family planning program was no longer poised for population control per se, but for family welfare. Although the contraceptive prevalence rate among women 15 to 49 stalled between 2005 to 2006, to 2015 and 2016, recent data show that the contraceptive prevalence rate among married women increased substantially from 54% in 2015-16 to 67% in 2019-2021, or a spectacular 13 percentage points. This is total, okay? If you interpret that in the concept of modern methods of contraception, it increased from 48% to 56%, still spectacular, in my opinion. The percentage of contraceptive demand satisfied by modern methods reached 74.1%, very close to the target of reaching 75% according to the Sustainable Development Goals in 2030. Very near, you're almost there, just, We recognize the country's effort to address the needs of family planning from the highest level of the government, pledging her full commitment to FP 2020 in 2012. The country institutionalized a new integrated reproductive, maternal, newborn, child, adolescent health approach for family planning in all spheres and with every opportunity. While addressing the nation on Independence Day in 2019, the Prime Minister declared family planning is true patriotism and suggested parents now need to give serious thought to whether they will be able to fulfill their children's dreams and aspirations. Population issues are not just a matter of the number of people. They impact health and socioeconomic indicators such as age at marriage, sex ratio, mortality, poverty, malnutrition, illiteracy, economic growth. India has demonstrated improvement in almost all sectors. As the countries are transitioning to FP 2030, India focuses on collaboration, convergence, inclusiveness for achieving their goals. ICFP recognizes the contributions of India in advancing family planning globally and remain a strong collaborative partner in achieving the shared goals of FP 2030 through more success stories from India. May I call on the representative of the Government of India, Dr. S.K. Sikdar.
Thank you, ICFP, for this well-deserved award for which we have been toiling for all these years. A very warm good afternoon to all of you who have still have the energy to stay back, and I can see a full house. This is really, really reassuring and probably shape of things to come in the next ICFP. It is indeed a pleasure and honor to receive this award for excellence in leadership in family planning on behalf of the Government of India. This award, which is over a decade old, carries the prestige associated with ICFP and gives us momentum to keep the efforts for contraception and family planning going on in India. While walking these few steps from my seat there to the stage, actually, my mind really flashed back to the 17 years ago when I joined the family planning program in India. And here, when I'm holding this award for my country, I feel honored and overwhelmed. Standing here on this stage is an inexpressible event in itself, and I'm glad that India's efforts have finally been acknowledged globally. After being at the vanguard of implementing the National Family Planning Program, the journey of improving access and achieving FP20 goals was not easy. We have been through all sorts of trials and tribulations. There have been moments of utter frustrations, also exhilarations. There was huge opportunities as well as huge challenges. But the obstacles we were able to overcome, and today we are in a pretty happy phase. I'm also thankful to all our ministers over these last 2 decades, all secretaries, all additional secretaries, and secretaries who really believed in us, gave us the conviction, gave us the support whenever we needed it, and that's the reason why this program is standing so strongly in our country. I'm also thankful to each of my state family planning teams. You can imagine a 1.4 billion population cannot be done just by 1 or 2 people. So in all 36 states of India, we have our family planning counterparts and teams, and all of them worked under a single chain of command and really worked for purposes and come up with trumps. I mean, all this effort the credit goes to most of them. This award also belongs to thousands of staff and functionaries and the million-strong frontline health workers that we have in our country by the name of ASHAs, development partners, civil society organizations, as well as some donors like the Gates Foundation, the USAID, the UNFPA, and WHO, all of who are there with me here to share the particular award, which really demonstrated the solidarity and the unity that we have in our country in really taking forward the goals of the family planning program. This award also recognizes the Government of India's commitment towards the needs and aspirations of the Indian people with renewed focus on young and low parity couples, and is a recognition of one of the oldest and largest family planning programs in the world that has made significant advancement and extraordinary achievements. Also, last but not the least, this award also belongs to my wonderful team and think tank who work tirelessly every day of the week for the last 10 years and without any complaints. Without them, things would not have turned out so well and so best. Even though we had a lot of challenges at hand, but we never backed off, kept on trying and trying. An award also belongs to the thousands of our colleagues back home who are at this moment glued to this telecast directly to celebrate the glory in our moment of glory. They are also celebrating by watching this particular live telecast. And finally, I thank the organizers for curating this wonderful conference, bringing the family planning fraternity together on a global platform and learning and sharing from each other. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much for conferring all of those awards to all of the winners, the teams, the countries, the organizations, and also the individual winners. And now, someone who is not a foreign to family planning community has done a video message for all of us. Friends and colleagues, please join me in welcoming Broadway star and singer-songwriter Jamila Sabres Clem, who will give us a video message for ICFP 2022.
Hi, my name is Jamila Savares-Clem. I am coming to you all from New York City. I'm currently in rehearsals for an upcoming show, so I cannot be there with you physically, but I am absolutely there with you in spirit. I wrote a song called We Have the Power, and it's a song about the strength and the power of collective solidarity and collective struggle. And it's an invitation to imagine the world that we can build when we fight for one another and when we protect one another. You know, it's hard to believe that in 2022, we still have to fight for everyone to have access to healthcare, for everyone to have autonomy over their own bodies, for everyone to have gender equality. But unfortunately, this is our reality. This is the way things are, but this is not the way things should be. And because of your work, this will not be the way things are for future generations to come. And I am eternally grateful for every single one of you who have dedicated their lives to this fight, to this work. Another world is not only possible, it is necessary, and we have the power to create that beautiful world. So this song is for you and for all of us. Thank you.
When I look around and see the world today, I think to myself, there must be a better way for our people, for our children, for all those who've been silenced, and we've learned from the luminaries who've gone. Their legacy lives on, their shoulders we now stand upon. They were dreamers, believers, fighting for a change. We have the power to create a different world, yes we do. When we care for each other and protect one another, if we work together, I know we'll make it through and learn there is no limit to what we can do. Imagine what we can do. We carry resilience in our bones, and we know we're not alone. Blazing a trail from our fire within, and we won't stop until we all win. We have the power to create a different world, yes we do. When we care for each other and protect one another, if we work together, I know we'll make it through and learn there is no limit to what we can do. Oh yeah. It might be hard to see the light, to feel like hope has died, but we'll keep moving on. We will not give up the fight, 'cause we know the cost of what's been lost, but that will not defeat us. That will. There's nothing we can't do. We have the power. We have the power. We have the power. There's nothing we can't do. We have the power. We have the power. We have the power. There's nothing we can't do. Nothing we can't do. Oh, yeah. There's nothing we can't do.
Wow. We really do stand on the shoulders of giants, and it's quite emotional seeing all of the familiar faces on that screen. And I just want to acknowledge that indeed we have been through a really tough time, but we do have the power. We hold the power, and ICFP is that moment in time to harness all of our collective action to go forward in meeting all of our targets. And now I would like to introduce the ICFP 2022 co-host, Mr. Willishad Teko, who is the President, Population and Communication Development Association, to give us a few words.
Dear friends, we are here almost a week. What I notice is that we have worked hard, get together, sharing, working together. Now, the conference is going to be over and up soon. One thing that I noticed is that we have fully hardworking and full of happiness, laughing, big smiling. That what is some indication that the goal and objectives of this conference is achieved and success. I would like to thank all people who make this conference success. Next step, I'm sure that all of us will not feel work lonely. We have a lot of friends, networks, people all around. That is our next step. But personally, that you are in the city of Pattaya, I think that you have a good memory, a good impression. Please bring this back to your home and sharing with your families, your friends, and all around. Please come and visit again in the near future. Lastly, I wish you all the best and the success of your work, and have a safe journey back home till we meet again. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those kind words and for hosting us in Pattaya City. And now I would like to call on back to the stage Dr. Ellen McKenzie, who's the Dean of the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. T. And it's kind of sad that our time together is drawing to an end, but it has been an incredible meeting. First, I would like to extend my congratulations again to all the awardees today, and also to say that it was such a moving tribute that we were able to share. And we're so very grateful to these heroes of public health. They did so much to advance family planning and build a healthier, more equitable world, and we're a better world for it. I know their legacies will help guide us in our collective work ahead, and their memories will continue to be an inspiration as we fight for progress and change. Once again, as I said, this has been an extraordinary conference, one that showed the power of hybrid events. More than 4,000 people came together from around the world, both here in person as well as online. It's been an exceptional opportunity to gain new knowledge, make lifelong connections and reconnections, and work together to transform the future. The theme of universal health coverage and family planning has given us a chance to dream big, but also to think practically. The past few days, we have learned ambitious but very attainable ideas. The sessions have been engaging and enlightening, filled with cutting-edge science and innovative concepts. And of course, once again, we stand in awe and celebrate our young people, the present as well as the future leaders of the movement towards a healthier and more equitable world for all. I am sure your hearts are full and your minds are busy. You are ready, you're already thinking about what you're going to do when you get home. I can't wait to see what you will accomplish in the months and years ahead. I would like to take this moment to thank our wonderful co-hosts, the Thailand Ministry of Public Health, the Royal Thai College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and the Population and Community Development Association. I know you will return home with wonderful stories to tell about the warm welcome you received and the amazing experience you had visiting Pattaya City. We are so grateful for your hospitality and making us feel at home these last several days. And of course, I must thank everyone, all my colleagues at the Bloomberg School's Gates Institute. And to our amazing director, Oying, and the whole team, we are so grateful for your extraordinary efforts. And I think you will agree, maybe not several days ago when things were coming together, but now you can say the blood, sweat, and tears was definitely worth it because it's been a tremendous success. As you always say, Oying, this is more than a conference, it's a movement. It is bringing us closer to our goal of universal access to family planning. So once again, thank you all for joining us and for bringing such energy, enthusiasm, and determination. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce a special tribute to our fearless leader, Oying Ramon. Oying is usually all about celebrating the contributions of others, but we thought we should take a moment here and now to acknowledge all he has and continues to do for the field and the movement of family planning. So this is not your last ICFP, right, Oying? We're counting on another one 3 years from now, but we would like to take this moment and thank you for all you've done.
So, Oying. so much to say. I think one of the most powerful things about Oying is his convening power and his love for people, but also his love for this work and the way that he enjoys bringing people together and having these conversations with many different types of leaders in this field to really try and convene and bring a united vision together. So I think that's something that Oying is really great at.
I think the first impression that one would get from Oying, or at least we did at that point, when he was still quite a young guy, was that he knew where he stood, he was firm, he was bold, and he had ideas about what should be done.
He's a visionary in communication, and he has a real deep understanding of the need to reach different stakeholders, the need to engage with policymakers, but also the need to engage with beneficiaries and clients, and a real understanding of how to communicate with each of those groups.
I think for him, unpacking family planning for
decision makers, policy makers, for the development community has been his superpower. He would really explain family planning on the economic side of it, on how effective it is and how it contributes to the overall development goals. That's his superpower.
If Oying imagines it, it's going to happen. There's not many people that are like that, but he imagines things and then everybody starts rallying around that vision.
Oying, thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you so much for your commitment to this work. Thank you so much for all of that you have done. Your work has given opportunities to a lot of people, a lot of advocates to come to the platform, especially your love for young people and the work that young people are doing has changed the space in an incredible way.
And Oying's impact goes far and beyond just what the family planning field is, where it is now, but it goes to all the people that he has worked with, all the people he has helped, all the projects that he has helped both seeded, engineered, and spawned.
So Oying has made a huge contribution to the family planning and contraception field and really has changed millions and millions of lives.
And he has made a difference to women and girls globally, and this is an indelible mark on his contribution.
We're going to be talking about his initiatives for many years.
Enjoy your days ahead, Oying! Maraming salamat. Thank you for all of your hard work across the decades.
I think we can all stand for Oying. A true legend with more than 30 years experience in the game. Many of us have met Oying, whether it's at Johns Hopkins, whether it's at ICFP, and I would really love you to come up on stage to give us your remarks about the journey, the history of ICFP, and this moment that we find ourselves in, having made new friends this week, having solidified existing relationships, but also moving forward, united as the ICFP community, one project that has been thoroughly your vision and mission, and congratulations once again, and we really thank you, Oying, for your leadership.
So that was a surprise. I can be emotional sometimes, even on stage. Thank you so much for the tribute. When I willingly assumed the responsibility for ICFP a long time ago, I also had a dream, like Martin Luther King. I had a dream. I had a dream that ICFP can be and should be an instrument to bring young people into our community. That was my dream. Because to me, if we don't have the young people with us, as colleagues, as partners, as a source of inspiration, this movement will die. I really believe that. So as I see all the young people building up their participation over time, up to now, I think I have realized my dream. It's not complete, but we're getting there. And I'm always happy to see how the young people are involved, because they are also a source of imagination, courage, you name it, for our movement. So I think my boss, the dean, asked me, Oying, is this your last ICFP? Yes, this would be my last ICFP, Dr. Mackenzie. And the reason for that is consistent with my own personal belief. I want to hand over ICFP to the next generation of young leaders to take over. So while I will be waving the flag on the sideline, I hope you will see a new generation, of leaders leading ICFP. So as you watch all of those presentations, I will use a word that many people use, but I still love. You will immediately see it takes a village. Look at every contribution from so many constituencies. It was quite stunning to me just watching, all these different constituencies coming together. I think this unity and the power of the ideas of young people is going to propel us big time into the future. But I wouldn't remiss, because it's not about Oying, it's about all of us. That's why I always called ICFP, the model is distributed accountability. It is owned by us. The Gates Institute just happens to be a host. It is owned by all of us. That's why it's a distributed accountability. So in that context, there is a small secretariat, which is the hero behind the scenes. In fact, two of them and one volunteer is so exhausted, working 24/7 behind the scenes, that they are unable to join us today. But if you are watching, and together with a small team and the students who have helped behind the scenes, please stand up for all of you to be recognized, please. That's how small the team is behind the scene, the core secretariat. So imagine bringing this together takes a lot of preparation. Thank you very much. Yeah. You would not know this. I'll give you one example. We had some issue because of one delegate who still had a problem getting the visa. The team called this embassy, guess how many times? 43 times. 43 times until the visa was finally issued. In the last 3 to 4 months, they operated 24/7. So it's not about Oying Rimon, it's the team, of people who have made all this possible, including the 100 support that the leadership at the Bloomberg School of Public Health has given to this conference. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Heath. Yeah. So, again here, there's so many players but the ones who are not here that did not come out is the Universal health coverage advisory team. We had a universal health coverage. So I would like to salute you. For those of you who were not able to join us here, if you're watching, thank you very much for all the assistance you have given. But most importantly, and I would like to bring him up to the stage, is Dr. Bonjarit still here? Dr. Bonjarit, please join me on the stage. He will, I hope you can say a few remarks, but before you do that, Thailand did everything possible to bring us all here. Even doing the MICE visa for a convention like this, unprecedented, that has never been done before, that many of you can get your visa from any embassy. It took a while. So Dr. Bonjarit and your team, a profound thank you for hosting us and for everything that you did to make this conference happen. The final stage is for you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Oying. I think the final stage should be back to Oying. I just would like to use this opportunity on behalf of the Ministry of Public Health Thailand. I would like to thank all participants for their gracious presence and valuable contribution. I thank the committee for their unfailing effort, hard work, and services. I thank the liaison officer for their work in facilitating the participants. I thank all the staff from the organizers, hotels, and other services that had made our stay a pleasant one. Lastly, I would like to extend our gratitude to the co-host, the Royal Thai College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the Population and Community Development Association, Bill and Melinda Gates Institute for Population and Reproductive Health, Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. We are excited to see the next key partnership milestone in family planning for the next ICFP. And lastly, I hope you keep good memory of Pattaya and wish you good luck and a bon voyage on your way home until we meet again. Thank you and ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you so much, and congratulations again to Oying on your incredible leadership. And I know I speak for many young people around the world. We had a session on shifting power, but I can tell you even from personal experience, you don't just shift power, but we shifted power together with you at ICFP, but also in the way that you truly have meaningful participation of the youth. So thank you very much again. And now I'm excited to introduce to you the ICFP community members and artists who are going to perform for us a brand new song that they have composed, created, and produced, especially for ICFP 2022. And the song is called A New World. Over to you, Trevor, Otuk, Sophia, Avanti, and Lulu.
Hello, ICFP. Hello. How you doing? Thank you so much. It has been great 3 days, and we cannot wait to share this piece of music with you. This song is dedicated to everyone who is here, has traveled miles to come here, and is doing a great job in their communities. So welcome and listen.
Naya Jahan, Naya Jahan, Naya Jahan, Naya
Jahan. Feel free to stand up and dance.
Technical difficulties.
I think tech difficulties. Let's start it again.
Yeah, let's start over.
That was a sign that everyone needs to be more energetic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Let's get up and have some fun! Woo!
Música maestro? Question mark? Woo! Just freestyle the flow. Actually, till then, can we request everyone to stand up and maybe shake themselves out? I know you've been sitting for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long day. It's
Shake
been
yourselves
a long
out,
conference.
stretch, get comfortable, because we're gonna pull you up to dance. So you gotta be ready. I see you. Till then, we can share which countries we are from and representing. Go ahead.
Yeah, we need to introduce yourself.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sophia Angelica. I'm representing the US and Argentina, so you may hear some lyrics in Spanish there. ¿Dónde están los latinos allá afuera? Hey!
Yes, and I am Otuk all the way from Tanzania. Where are my African people? Where you at?
Yes, I'm a Lulu Diva Divana from Tanzania.
Woo! Here we go.
The music back. Let's go.
Just like a river we flowing, together we walk away, yeah. Step by step toward we changing, living by the rules that is life we deserve. We've been through anguish and pain, we bled our lives through our broken hearts, but all we knew is we had to be here, so we can celebrate a winning, so we can celebrate, 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 celebrate. A new world is possible, so we can celebrate, 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 celebrate. A new world is possible.
Yes, we will remember you. Come on. And the world will sing your name. Greatness will follow you. Like the northern star you are. Yeah.
You may feel down and out, you may feel lonely, you may feel empty, but you are destined to win. Show them your magic, the way you do this. And if you got this, let me hear you say, a new world is possible. A new world is possible.
Sing it!
A new world is possible. A new world is possible.
Let's dance, let's go!
Hey. Cambiando una vida, dejando una huella en el mundo, alzando tu voz, despertar el amor. 'Cause a new world's possible, it's possible.
A new world is possible.
It's possible.
A new world is possible.
It's
A new world is possible.
Let me talk to him. Remember, you remember me. A new world is possible. Wait and see. Patiently, don't want the way it be. Gotta make us breathe the best agency. Gender-based violence and they hurt you. Maternal mortality, curfew. Why be controversial? Need a reversal. Healthcare should be a virtue. Make it universal.
Unaweza we nani? Ukitaka shinda vitani, believe in a plan, no give someone. Yeah. Possible. A new world is possible. A new world is possible. new world.
Yeah, it's possible.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ay, 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 ay.
Yo, a new world is possible, and thanks for every one of you.
A new world is possible.
Okay. Now, you all remember ICFP 2018? We did the We Are Family song, right? You want to hear that? No, that's not enough. Do you want to hear that? Let's go.
Okay, so everyone on stage has to go grab a new person from downstairs.
The bright and morning stars, with the power to be seen across the world. We're not the future, we're the present. Come on. Invest in us and you will see the world is changing. Because our bodies in the future we hold it. We're one for you to see that everybody can win. Could it be education or contraception? Everyone will always be here to sing. We are family, we are planning to go around the world. Everyone that we deserve a voice. We are family, we are planning to go around the world. Tell everyone that we deserve a shot. Be on the ground in every area.
Can we open up this band?
Wants to make the world
Come on down, everyone in the back.
we want the best on the way. There is something for our future to bright. Because our bodies, and the future we hold it. We want for you to see that everybody can win. Could it be education or contraception? Cause we always will fight. We are family, we are planning to go around the world. Tell everyone that we deserve a voice. We are family, we are planning to go around the world. Tell everyone that we deserve a chance.
We gon' climb up and then rise up. We ain't got enough. I know you're tired of seeing things the same way, but in time you realize that things change. We the demographic dividend. You see the work that we put in. I'ma stay true to me, use my opportunity to show you how to build a community with unity.
We are family. எதிர்காலம் உன் கண் முன்னில் மனதையும் உடலையும் பாதுகாப்பாய். Oh yeah! உரிமை உண்டு தேவையான குழப்பம் நீக்க வெவ்வேறு பல வழிகளும் உண்டு. உதவக்கரங்கள் உண்டு முன் வந்து சொல்வாய் என்று. உதவக்கரங்கள் உண்டு முன் வந்து சொல்வாய் என்று. என்றே முடிவு செய் உடல் நலத்தை உயர்த்தவே. என்றே முடிவு செய் உடல் நலத்தை நீயும் உயர்த்தவே.
Because our bodies in the future we hold. We want for you to see that everybody can win. Could it be education?
To the right.
Contraception.
To the left.
Everyone will always be fine. So we are family.
We are one.
And we are planning to go around the world. And everyone that deal with the voice. We are family.
We are one.
And we are planning to go around the world. And everyone that did demand a choice. Let's go! We are family. And we are planning to go around the world. And everyone that we demand a choice. We are family. you so much. Thank you so much, ICFP. This has been great.
Round of applause.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us, the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.
Focused on family planning and universal health coverage. We also had the opportunity to learn from government sector, the private sector, philanthropic organizations, and individual experts from around the world. We cannot forget about the Red Carpet event, which is a special celebration featuring performers and honorees for the exemplary work in family planning and reproductive health.
And we spoke about a very important topic about power shifting and how power shifting can help us with regards to human rights programs. We had Women of Impact who led discussions on stage around how we look at family planning and the advancement of gender equality.
Educate yourselves, tell your story, don't be afraid to speak out.
Organizations such as the Success Projects took us through how we can learn from failures to advance our family planning programming and services. And we cannot forget about the Moth, where incredible stories teach us about the power of choice and how it can make a difference in family planning.
This was an amazing opportunity to talk about the youth factor in family planning and how youth-led organizations can educate on their behalf when it comes to their values and their needs. We saw thought leadership organizations create a global roadmap for action. And beyond that, the impactful stories of how the youth are collaborating and innovating. Thank you so much for tuning in this year. Please remember to use the hashtag FP for all, hashtag ICFP 2022, and of course, hashtag FPNN in your mentions.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us, the International Conference on Family Planning. It was a massive success and we had a lot of people from all around the world joining us in conversations on how we can advance the agenda of family planning for all.